This mini-series is brought to you by the Animates Patreon. If you want to get access to ad-free episodes, videos, and more, check out patreon.com/Animates. Welcome back to the Animates Neon Genesis Evangelion watch-through series. My name is Mackenzie, joined by my very likely confused by the events currently happening co-host Lindsey.
What is happening?
Yeah, this week we watched episodes 13, 14, 15, and 16, which finally has started to bring us into the end game with plenty of new revelations, some character development, and some crazy reveals that had you just being like, huh? What?
Yeah. What? Why is there so many legs on that thing? Why does this thing look like a cool Grace Jones look? I don't
know
understand.
what that means. But things are really starting to heat up as the conspiracies unravel around us.
It is. And you know what else has heated up? The pronunciation of the company that is in charge of the Angels, because we watched it in dub, and it's no longer Nerve, it's Nerve.
Yeah, I should note. So we originally were watching the original Japanese sub, but for my own sanity and Lindsay's ability to comprehend what was going on, we switched to the original dub. However, because the high seas this week did not want to load anywhere on any websites, probably because they're being shut down,
Boo, but
we had to
also I
watch
understand.
the Netflix dub. And how was that for you?
I mean, there were certain parts of it that I was like, I don't see what anybody has problems with this. But then, yeah, they said nerve as nerve. And I was like, you speak English, motherfucker. Like, how are you butchering this? Where's the A?
I don't know. Yeah, for some reason, Misato always just says nerve.
I didn't understand it, but
yeah,
she still got paid.
Oh, yeah, for sure. The dub is more serious.
Yeah, and I think I liked that more because, no offense, but Asuka in the other dub, I was like, shut up.
That's fair. I didn't dislike this as much as I remembered I did, so that's nice.
Watch, we're gonna have a bunch of nerds now coming after us with pitchforks and torches.
Whatever. Fuck them.
How dare you?
I miss the original campiness from the first dub, but it's okay. The Netflix one is fine. I don't hate it.
It will do.
We also watched the episodes in person.
We did. That was interesting.
It was nice to get your like raw reactions to things, because normally I just get like photos of all capital notes. But this time I got to see like actual real-time facial expressions combined with like the wacky inflatable tube man arms.
There were a couple of moments that I was like, hang on, hold on. What?
Pause it.
We need to go through this. Yeah.
Break it down for me.
What does this mean?
And that's going to become more and more frequent because we are
nearing the end game.
There's only 10 episodes left and a lot is going to happen.
Oh yeah, everything's starting to really ramp up now.
Everyone's starting to question what's going on.
People are gonna die.
Oh, abso-freaking-lutely.
Oh no.
The question is who?
I know, I don't know who. Who has plot armor? I feel like Shinji has plot armor.
Has this show ever cared about plot armor in a way that you think would stop them from killing a main character?
I know, they could just like full on scream us. Like,
here's a quick little game. Do you think Misato will die?
I could see it going either way.
Yes or no?
Fine, I think Misato will die.
Ritsuko.
I could see her dying, but I don't think she will.
What about Gendo?
Yes.
Shinji?
I don't think he will, but now I don't know.
Yes or no?
Yeah, he won't. No, he won't die.
Okay. Asuka.
I think because she's enough of a shit disturber, she won't die.
Rei.
I think she will.
Ooh.
What does it mean?
Kaji?
Oh man, the double agent. Yes.
Ooh,
apparently everyone's gonna die, apparently, is what I think.
On our last episode of the official series, before we move on to the movies, I'm going to bring up what you've said today. And we're going to see what you are right and or wrong about. Anyways.
Yes.
Moving on to the series.
Yes.
Starting with the name that you were not quite understanding, which is Lilliputian Hitcher.
Yeah.
Or Angel Infiltration, as Netflix calls it.
They were like, we don't know. These hookers aren't going to know. Let's just call it this.
I like this episode a lot because it has nothing to do with the Evas or the children, but it like still gives us a really cool type of angel and some like character interactions with Ritsuko.
Did I, like, fully understand what this angel was? No. But was it cool? Absolutely. It's like a computer virus
Kind
angel.
of. Kind of.
Microorganisms? Is it like an Aeon Flux with the, like, the little micro robot things? You know, that
It is.
terrible early 2000s movie that was based off of a really excellent 90s cartoon?
We'll get to that. But first, we've got to start with some exposition on the Magi.
Well, we've gotta go deep into the headquarters of Nerve to do a synchronization test.
Well, okay, sorry, I said there's nothing about the kids, but technically they are there. But they, they're only there for a split second because when the issues of the episode happen, they just eject them from the building
They're like, "Get the fuck out." And they're just, like, in water
in their
in their entry plugs.
plugs. Yeah,
They're like, "Do we go back now?"
and they're like, we can't. We're naked. Where are we gonna go? Because for some reason, this test we have to be naked.
I know, I was like, "Don't you normally have to have suits?"
And yet Shinji was the only one with anything that covered his genitals. Everyone else was
Yeah,
just free balling it.
but they don't have balls.
It's shut up. I
Free
couldn't think of
ovin it.
just teats to the wind.
Oh, man, just Mam's out. Gam's out.
Mam's out. Anyways,
Wow.
we get some stuff about how like Ritsuko's mom built the Magi
Yeah.
and put like 3 types of personality from herself into it, which
Mhm.
is her scientific side, her mother side, and her womanly side.
Which was really cool.
Yeah. For some reason, I always thought it was 3 separate. I probably said this in another episode, 3 separate people's personalities. Completely forgot that it was just like 3 parts of her mom.
Mhm.
But the whole big bad of the episode is they're like, oh shit, we've got some corrosion. And they're like, oh, okay, well, we'll just shut down the pipe and we'll fix it. And it's like, surprise,
Oh,
motherfucker.
it's angel corrosion, bitch.
And
Like,
it's
kicks
like,
down door.
literally, it's just like, oh, you're going to shut off the pipe? Great, I'm just going to go on the wall.
Yeah, it just is, like, unstoppable. And they're like, "Okay, well, what if I just, like, come into one of these magi here? That's not gonna be a problem, right? Right? And I'm gonna take over this one, now I'm gonna go to this other one. Oh, you're trying to stop me? Too bad, I'm a really advanced angel, so, suck it, bitches.
Uh,
Oh, I've taken over the second one, now I'm just gonna go into third." And then they stop it.
yeah, because they're like, oh shit, we got to put in these special things to stop them from guessing the codes and blah, 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 blah. Because they're literally, yeah, this little angel is hacking the systems because it plans to initiate a self-destruction sequence, which is so fucking cool because there's only one personality remaining and each personality has to have a unanimous vote. And because the third personality says no, shit doesn't blow up yet.
Mhm.
And then you're like, well, how do you handle a microscopic angel that just replicates? Well, they learn it can evolve.
Mhm.
And how do you kill something that evolves? You force it to the end of its evolution because every living being's ultimate end is death.
I guess. It's a really happy ending for a really happy series.
But it's true though.
Mhm. It
Like,
just made me think of, the episode of Batman Beyond. I'm gonna be a nerd for a second, with the Splicers episode where they're like, "Enhance your DNA, it's gonna be so cool," and then Terry McGinnis is like, "Haha, bitch, just take all of this genetic enhancement," and then the guy dies.
yeah, if you evolve too far, eventually you will bring upon your own destruction. Maybe it's because you've gotten too smart and, it's that death by just being overwhelmed by your own genius, or you just evolve yourself into the point like with Earth, we use up all of its resources and then we just burned up all hell because we don't care about the environment. So basically, to kill this angel, they've got to hack into Caspar, which is the
Mhm.
remaining magi, and
I'm glad
basically
you have
like
the names.
out
Balthazar was one of them.
yeah, and Malchior is the other. Out hack an angel?
Except I'm like, "Oh, yeah, but, like, how do angels know how to hack, and how do they understand computers?"
It's the evolving. That's the thing about this angel, is that it can literally anything that touches, it can evolve around. So for example, they realized that oxygen was killing it. So they were pumping it full of oxygen, and then it evolved to be able to breathe oxygen.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
Yeah, so they're like, "Oh shit, shut the oxygen off." Everything it touches, it can read and understand, and it evolves to like be able to control and move past it.
Wow, that's crazy. That's a terrifying,
It's technically like
concept.
the scariest angel we've seen because like
Yeah.
it can do anything basically.
Mhm.
So she opens up a tiny cavity, which is
Mhm.
cool because it's full of like hacking notes and production notes.
Yeah. I love the little stickies everywhere.
Yeah, and one giant letter that is in black marker that just says "Screw you, Akari."
Oh my gosh, I laughed so hard at that. That was fabulous.
because he's never going to see it, but
Nope.
Ritsuko's mom did not like him.
Sometimes you just do those little things at work to just make you happy that nobody else needs to know about.
I love how grossed out you got at this when it's revealed that there's a literal brain
Oh man,
and they're
yeah.
shoving needles inside of it.
Ugh. Oh my gosh, stop it. Oh my gosh. So I have a needle phobia. So seeing 7 needles get shoved into a squishy brain, yeah, it's gonna make me squirm because it's just ugh. I hate it. I hate it.
And Ritsuko's like, nah, it's no big deal.
Just gonna stab my mom's brain.
It's not her actual mother's brain, I don't believe, but it is basically, she said, it's basically my mother, which is pretty
Mother.
cool. However, all of that being said, I keep talking about how cool this Magi is. I still don't think we should be leaving our decision making up to an AI.
Yeah, we say that now.
But here's a question for you.
Okay.
If you had to put 3 of your personality traits into a supercomputer to run the world, which ones would you put?
Okay, well obviously my dump truck ass is not gonna be able to go into there because it's not a
No, that's not a
personality.
personality.
Damn it. Despite how much I try to make it my personality. I don't know. Would it be like mid 2000s emo music knowledge?
Not a personality.
It. You did not know me when I was 13, clearly.
Well,
I don't really know. What would be good? It'd be like my sense of humor. You don't look impressed.
I thought you'd have like a, okay, fine. Here, let me rephrase
Let me talk
this
about
then.
myself. Okay.
Let me make this easier for you. If you had to take 3 personalities of people you know, or maybe you don't know, to be put into a computer to run the world, who would it be?
I think the first question was probably going to be easier. Okay. I think I think it's like the compassion, but yet the like fierceness of Ruben K. And just being able to like be very well spoken in discussions, but also bring some sort of humor to a subject.
Okay.
I would say, oh my gosh, now I'm gonna make myself sound super Evo. The creativity of Gerard Way.
You heard it here, folks. Gerard Way will be one of the people ruling the government.
I would trust Gerard Way with holding my drink in a dirty nightclub. Like the amount of trust I have in that man is insane. And I think it would be the wisdom of Paris Paloma.
I don't know who that is.
You need to go listen to the song Labor is by Paris Paloma right now, along with every other person who identifies as a man. Again, Paris as in the country, or as in the city, not the country. And then Paloma, like the citrusy fruit. Or is that a pomelo?
That's a pomelo.
Paloma is in para. Yeah, I don't know. But go listen to the song. It's incredible. Thank you.
I don't really know enough about these people to give an opinion on if the world is fucked or not.
It's basically like sassy gay, emo kid, and then like wise woman who's not putting up with shit anymore.
Okay, how would those 3 handle being asked if they should launch a nuke or not?
Ooh, it depends on the day, I think.
Fair enough. Anyways, they win because they win the hack off by 1 millisecond. Ritsuko out hacks
Yeah.
the angel,
Holy moly, that was impressive. I was like, ugh.
and then we literally end with like just the kids floating out in the lake.
And that's kind of like it was a good pace because it was like this really intense hacking situation and like learning stuff about Ritsuko and her mom and all this kind of stuff. And then we end with like just a little bit of humor, which I really loved.
Do you think Ritsuko has unresolved issues with her mom, or is she just like super pragmatic?
I mean, I think it is like Ritsuko trying to make her mom proud, I guess, if that makes sense.
Interesting.
Why is it interesting?
Just a response. You can't take everything as if I'm like,
I know, but this whole entire
leading into
series got me
something
so
special and
paranoid
it's
that
very true.
I have to. I don't know what anything means.
It's okay. It's
Are
okay.
you sure?
I don't know. We'll see.
You asked me if people are gonna die.
I'm just curious so I can bring it up later.
Oh man.
You know, for the fans.
Oh yeah, for the fans.
Anyways,
Yes, we're gonna go on episode 14 now.
fuck this first half of this episode.
Yeah,
because it's
first
a
ep-
clip show.
It's just like, hey, here's the journey so far. Great.
So innovative.
Whoa.
At least this is like got over like dub from like other people's perspective. But fuck
Mhm.
this shit. As a kid, if you were like watching a TV show and you had to wait a whole week, sometimes even more for an episode, and it came up and it was like, here's the breakdown of the last 10 episodes. It's like you are so mad. Your
The dark days of
excitement is
cable.
gone. Yeah. Catch up episodes are the fucking worst in anime, live action, regular cartoons. whatever it is, stop that bullshit. It's lazy. And you're like, oh, well, it's been 10 episodes in case people forgot what happened. If they like your show, they're going to know. And also, shows that do it in the modern times, there's the fucking internet. If you haven't watched a show in 3 weeks, you can quickly go and get a quick catch up there. Don't waste my fucking time.
Mackenzie, get off your soapbox.
Never. This is not a soapbox. This is a legitimate thing.
Oh, okay.
Fuck you.
Fuck you too, baby.
Waste of my fucking time. Not you. I
Aw.
mean, ketchup
Oh, I
episodes.
thought you were telling me to fuck off because I told you to get off your soapbox.
That time, yeah. Anyways, the rest of this episode is literally just have the kids try piloting each other's Avas.
Yeah, and it like sometimes goes well and sometimes it doesn't. And it just goes kind of berserk, which is terrifying.
Although there is one piece of humor, which is Asuka when Shinji's like in Ray's Ava, and Asuka just like comes in on the mic and she's like, "Oh, you gonna go whine to your mommy, go crawl back into her womb?" Either this girl doesn't know she's dead yet, or she is just the fucking
Heartless?
worst.
I think it's the second.
Go dig up her body and crawl inside that crumbly womb.
Oh, no, that's not good.
That's what she said.
Yep, 100% what you said.
But
Oh, man.
anyways, the whole episode is literally, oh no, the Ava has freaked the fuck out and it tries to kill Ray, but she just stands there and accepts it because,
Yeah,
She's
Ray
broken.
is a psychopath.
yeah.
Wow, I would not be that chill. You flinch near me and I'm like, ugh.
Would I send a giant robot hand at you?
Yeah, I'm going to freak out. I'm going to start crying.
So the last scene of this, aside from like, Shinji in the hospital and whatever,
Whatever. He's always there.
Gendo is asked about Project Atom,
Hmm.
and he says that Ray is handling it, and he's talking about the Spear of, do you remember the name?
Longinus.
Yes. I remember just laughing our asses off.
Why is that the name of it?
So I Googled how to pronounce Longinus.
Is it Longinus?
No,
Oh.
there's a YouTube video. It's Italian, apparently. And all of the comments under the video just said, I came here from the Netflix dub.
Yeah, that's legit.
It's Longinus. So
Longinus?
Longinus. It's like Longinus or Longinus.
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 Apparently, the spear actually got its name from Bible passage John 19:33-34,
Meh, I
where
don't
it
know.
talks about someone stabbing the recently crucified deceased Son of God,
Oh, yes. It was to check to make sure he's dead.
and like having water and blood flow out of it. And I guess that unnamed soldier they decided to name him Longinus
They called him
or
Longinus.
Longinus, likely coming from the Greek word lonx, which means lance, which
Wow.
also would make kind of sense.
Yeah, I think it would make sense because it's a lance.
Yeah, that's literally that whole episode is one quick Ava freak out and a clip show.
Yeah, it's not like the end of the next episode, but we'll get to that.
No, episode 15 with the long ass episode title, Those Women
Oh.
Longed for the Touch of Others' Lips and Thus Invited Their Kisses.
Which, aka my dating life right now.
This is a doozy. You got mad, you got jump scared, you got mad again, and then you had a final, what the fuck moment at the end.
I don't even remember what I jumped at. I'm glad you took notes about how I reacted.
This episode, we start with like Gendo and Kozo talking about like seal and say it with me now, the human.
Longinus? Oh,
No,
Instrumentality Project.
there you go. Yes. Oh, we must be wary of the human Longinus project.
I'm gonna start doing dragon. That's gonna be my name. You know what? I'm gonna start a new a Blue Sky account, and that's gonna be my name.
Longinus.
Human Longinus.
Anyways,
It's gonna be my pen name.
they're like, everything's not going well. They're mad, blah, blah, blah. And Gendo's like, nah, fuck you. Everything's working just fine. Tell them to go fuck themselves.
Boss.
They also make note that they know about Kaji being a double agent.
Yes, which I was like, that dickhead.
Any reason you think he's ignoring the fact that he knows Kaji is a double agent?
Because it probably is one of those situations where it's like they don't know that we know that they know. Like
Kaji knows that they know.
they know that I know that they know.
Who's on first?
I don't know.
Regardless,
Again, another board with yarn that I'm gonna have to make for this whole entire series.
yeah.
Oh,
Speaking of
man.
Kaji, Asuka's super mad that he hasn't called her. So she leaves him a voicemail faking getting assaulted by a
Oh,
pervert.
yeah. Oh, that was very problematic and not good.
Yeah, don't do
Holy
that.
moly. No, if you wanna get a guy's attention, I don't know, flash him. Do the old like, go old school.
Thankfully, Kaji's not a moron.
I mean, to be fair, her performance was not Oscar worthy.
No, no, it was Asuka worthy, and that's about it. Eh?
Yeah.
Eh? This whole episode is all about hangouts and dates.
Yeah.
We've got a wedding. We've got
Ooh. Which the girls look so hot at.
okay. This kind of like cuts in and out of what's going on, but I'm going to break it up into the actual events as like a grouping, so I'm not jumping back and forth.
That's probably gonna be best.
The wedding. Oh my god, Misato
Ooh.
in that
Them
dress with that
legs,
long cut down back. Girl, we love a
her
long back
heels,
dress. Damn
her
heels
dirty
going
tights.
on. Don't get me started. I've got notes on that for later.
Was that the jump scare?
All that happens is Gendo appears on the screen and he says one word and you lost your fucking mind and jumped out of your shit.
Why can I not remember this? Oh,
Anyways,
man.
so they're at the wedding. Yeah, everyone looks
Yes.
good. Misato's dress, the pearls, Ritsuko's in that like green thing. Not as good, but still
It's
good.
great.
Kaji's in like his little suit and tie. And of course, flirting with everybody.
I mean, what else is Kaji gonna do? Have a personality?
He's not as bad as I think you make him out to be.
I don't know.
I think he's just likes to fuck with people.
Yeah.
But the episode unfortunately goes from like super cute and like out at the wedding to really
Ooh.
weird because Kaji and a very drunk Misato walk home.
Mhm.
She gets real emotional. She's like apologizing for breaking up with him because apparently he reminds her of her father. She's like going on and on and on about like wanting to run from her father, which is why she left him. She clearly still likes him and liked him. It wasn't a bad breakup. She broke up with him because she thought he was like her dad and she wanted to run away from her dad.
Which, I mean, that's fair. That's
Yeah,
100% fair.
it's very emotional.
Mhm.
And it's like she's crying and it's very intense. And then they cut to a shot of her dirty ass stocking covered feet.
They were so gross. I was like, we do not
Why?
need this. Just leave
Why?
it. Just leave them clean. It's fine. Nobody's gonna question it.
There is more detail in the dirt on those feet than the
Oh, they were
background of the scene we were in.
so grubby. I hated it. We both were like, ugh.
I want to note, this is just our personal opinion. Fans of ours who love feet, even dirty feet, you're still welcomed here. That being said, if you PayPal us $1,000, we will send you feet pics.
I'll show you these piggies. I'll go put on tights.
We're not above that.
No, 100% not above that.
I'm kidding. I wrote this specifically as a way to transition to
not.
saying if you actually want to support us, we do have a Patreon. We don't have $1,000 Lindsey Piggy tier. But
God darn it. Not yet. If there's enough demand, though.
Patreon.com/animatings. You heard it here, folks. Maybe we'll eventually add a tier for getting them piggies.
Ooh, this little piggy went straight to the bank.
We kid, question mark.
Do we?
Anyways.
In this economy?
This next scene, you got so fucking mad. Because
Oh my
she's
gosh.
tearing herself down. And I look to you and you're just like, don't you dare fucking kiss her.
Yeah, okay, so there's a thing that men in old movies love to do when women are hysterical, which is just shut them up by kissing them. And that drives me nuts. Let her have her emotions. They are valid. That this is a space where she feels safe enough to, to voice them to you. Don't shut her up by kissing her. Please. Thank you.
You know, she got very into the kiss, but it's like still, my dude. Just
Mhm.
just be there for her in other ways. Let her kiss you if she needs to.
Yeah. If she needs to use sex to process these emotions about you kind of being like her father, that's weird, but
Let her do it. Well,
Yep.
don't have to let her, but you know what I mean.
consensually do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But speaking of kissing, we jump to, oh god, that's a weird transition because the next thing I was going to talk about was the grave site.
Oh, okay, never mind.
So
That's also
never mind. The other start of the day before the wedding, we cut
Mhm.
to, and it's Shinji We'll save that, speaking of kissing, transition for later. Shinji is at his mother's grave.
Yeah, this is kind of the first time that we really get any sort of, I guess, screen time of her.
Well, we could say that, except Gendo admits there's nothing in the grave. It's just an empty facade.
Yeah.
And that he got rid of all photos of her because all he needs is his memory.
Which I was like, that's awful. Don't ever do that.
It's fine for you, but you have a fucking kid who probably would have
Yeah.
liked a photo of his mother.
I would have liked to remember what her face looks like. I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
And Shinji's like, thank you, Dad. This was really nice. I'm glad we got a chance to talk. And he did give some wisdom. He was like,
Yeah.
he gave some decent-ish wisdom. But
He has
then,
like a decent father moment.
but then,
He just abandons his child in this graveyard.
literally, he like gets in a plane and flies off. And you were like, what?
I was like, how's Shinji supposed to get home? You guys are going to the same place. I was like, such a good father moment. And then instantly terrible father moment.
Okay, now I can say this. Speaking of kissing,
There we go.
my real good transition. The evening with
Asuka
Asuka and Shinji,
Shinji at home while the parents are out at a party
she comes home because she had a blind date that evening.
that she didn't really care for. You
No, she
know.
literally, Shinji's like, why are you home? She's like, oh, he was boring, so I left him in line for a roller coaster.
Oh man. Which I mean, like, just tell him. I understand that she's 14.
Still, dick move, bro.
Asuka basically is like, we should kiss so that we can practice.
She's like, I'm bored.
Yeah, like, which I mean, fair, but this kiss is hilarious because Shinji doesn't know what to do and fully changes to several different colors of purple before landing on blue.
Well, because
She
she's
just-
holding his nose closed.
Because it was like tickling her when he breathed.
Yeah.
And he's just like stiff as a board, just like trying not to like pass out. Oh my gosh. It was fabulous.
But then she stops kissing, freaks out, and then gargles with mouthwash and is yelling about how you shouldn't just kiss someone because you're bored. Girl, it was your idea.
She just is.
And
She's
here's the
something.
thing, I actually don't think she's talking to Shinji in that moment. I think she's talking to herself.
Yeah, she's
Like,
probably
this
talking to
is not
herself with like
something we should
wing.
do.
Yeah. Oh man, girl, sometimes you just need to make out for fun.
And like,
You can do it.
Kaji brings Misato home and she can smell Misato's perfume on him and she gets
Oh,
really
the
mad.
lavender. Yeah.
Girl, again, come on now.
You're 14, he's a grown-ass man. Stop it.
But it's the ending of this episode that made it special. Because there's two moments that happen. First, we cut to Rei because they're like, why isn't Rei in class? She is inside a glass tube connected to a giant machine. What do you think that's about?
I don't know. Is it something to do with the lance of Longina? Longinus? I don't know. Like, is it there like something like I have no idea. Is she like, is this child some sort of special child, or are they just like, let's try something and we'll try it on this child because we don't care what happens to her? Like, I don't know.
Is she a special child? Good question.
You motherfucker. She born of Adam.
Again, I can't actually give you any spoilers here, Lindsay. I can only confirm things when they happen.
So when
Well,
it
you're
happens.
going to catch me off guard one episode where I'll be like, oh yeah, blah, blah, blah.
I
And I'll be
know.
like, fuck.
I keep trying. Or like
No.
looking for your face.
You're not going to catch me.
Bitch, bet.
But our final moment, we've got Kaji breaking into a room,
Mhm.
Misato catching at him gunpoint and being like,
Mhm.
look, I know all about you, you little bastard. I know you're a double agent. And he's just like, oh yeah, sure. Yeah, that's cool. Did you know that Gendo and Ritsuko are lying to you? And then opens a door, showing a giant white figure crucified on a cross with the spear of Longinus stuck in its chest.
Man, that was a visual. Holy moly. It's crazy because the first time we kind of see Adam, it's in this little like weird styrofoam meat tray, and now it's this huge fucking thing with weird legs.
That's not Adam.
What? What was that then?
I can't tell you.
But this whole entire series is just you being like, I can't tell you. Ooh.
That is
It's the mom. It's
Which mom?
Shinji's mom.
no.
Ugh, this whole entire thing's got me fucked up, man. I don't know what anything is. So what is it then? Is it? Oh man. Now I'm gonna.
Take a
Okay, excuse me
guess.
while I pull out red thread and try and trace my Charlie Day board. Oh my gosh, what could it be? Is it the first Ava? And then because it was all squishy, they were like, "We'll put armor around you, bro." Is it the first Angel?
Well, technically, Adam's the first angel.
Is it the second angel? Is it Eve? Oh, is it Eve? What? Why is that so funny for me to ask if it's Eve? There's so much religious imagery in this whole damn show.
Its name is not Eve.
Is it Cain? Is it Abel? Is it Sodom? Is it Gomorrah?
Lindsay, this is currently
it
episode
Moses?
15.
Is it
You
Jonah?
will likely find out what it is on episode 22.
Son of a bitch! Am I gonna ever learn any answers to any questions I've ever had in this show?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh, this series has been edging me so much this whole entire fucking time. Am I gonna question my entire, like, existence? Am I gonna have an
Yes.
existential crisis? Oh
Yes.
no. What a great time of the year to have
The
it.
last episode is going to drive you insane, but we're not there yet.
No, so I still have a
We
few
will.
fleeting moments of sanity.
But what this creature is,
Well, it had bajillions of legs, so
mhm,
it's a centipede.
Eh.
Is it Jesus? Is it Jesus?
no,
Centipede Jesus?
no,
Are you sure?
that I will guarantee you. That is not what it is.
I like that I don't remember how this thing looked, really, except for all of its tiny fucking legs.
It's white with like a red face and a bunch of eyes.
Great. Just totally normal. Can you tell me if it's something related to the angels?
Yes,
I don't know why I asked that. I'm still just like, I don't know what they're be.
it is an angel.
Is it the thing that birthed all the angels?
I can't answer any more than it is an angel.
How does this, I still don't understand why they have to have 14-year-olds doing the angels. Nope, that didn't sound right. But you know what I mean? Piloting the angels. Like, this whole thing doesn't make sense.
I'm surprised you haven't picked up on the one key element between the pilots.
They're all 14.
No, there's one more thing.
Are they all
But-
orphans?
Close.
Do they both not have moms?
There you go.
Did they eat their moms in the womb?
No, we know that their moms died different ways.
Oh, do we? I didn't know that. I knew that Shinji's mom died in the second impact.
Yes.
So the mommies have something to do with them being pilots? It looks like some weird niche dead mom club. Does not having a mother prevent something developmentally in your brain? So then because of that, they're able to fuse really and synchronize really easily with all the Avi, so that's why they can fight really well?
These are really good questions that you will get answers to in the next little chunk of episodes.
Am I gonna get answers?
Yes.
Feels like I won't. Feels like I'm never gonna get answers. This whole entire thing is
okay.
just a giant joke that started in 1990 when Hideki Anno was like, you know what's really funny? Let's do a long game prank on this one white bitch who's like 5 right now. She won't know about any of this for another 25 years or whatever. And then it's all just gonna be a big giant prank that means nothing for her. We're gonna get so many people in on it as well. We're gonna get like people from it actually and like other anime podcasts, they'll do it. And then joke's on her, 2024, she's just gonna find out that it's all just a giant joke that means nothing and we've all just been pranking her.
Yeah, the final episode, something happens and it just fades into the words, ha ha, Lindsay, JK.
Yeah, it goes, fuck you, XOXO Hideki Anno.
You know, you're actually not too far off on the way people feel about that final episode, but we'll get there. Before I give too much away, let's move on to the next episode. Episode 16, Splitting of the Breast. This episode is fucking dark.
Oh my gosh, so dark. We almost have character death in it, and it's like, not even like death, it's like slow, painful.
Yeah. You think that like the comical intro banter between Shinji and Asuka is gonna like set the tone for the episode because she's like, oh, you think you're so good because you came in number 1? He's like, you know what? Yeah, I am good. Ha ha ha.
He's like finally starting to have a personality.
Yeah, but that
Yeah.
is not the tone.
No, it's almost like it's again, it's like a bait and a switch of like, oh, look at how funny this episode is going to be. Haha, lies.
Because there's no timing. It's literally a second later we meet this cool ass zebra sphere.
This was probably one of my favorite looking angels. It was just like the black and white graphic texture on it. I thought was really pretty.
Really neat. And they're like, oh, all right, kids, you go and handle this. And they shoot at it and it just disappears. And you're like, huh.
You're like, that was weirdly easy.
And then it eats Shinji.
Yep, just like it's like in Vampire Hunter D with the shadow guy.
Yeah, except it's an entire city-sized shadow that is
just envelops
sucking everything into another dimension.
Yeah.
Or sorry, another universe they call it, which they really don't put enough effort onto that thought.
Nope.
You'd think that would be a little bit more of a big deal, like, oh, there's another universe.
Right? Like, that is also gonna cause so much existential dread and, like, an existential crisis for people, but it's fine, we're just gonna glaze over it.
Yeah, and then it gets really dark because Shinji's eaten, and they're like, okay, so he's got 16 hours of life support, and you're like, okay, that's a lot of time. And then it jump cuts, and they're like,
He's got
now
4
there's 4
hours.
hours left.
You're like, "What did you do with those other 12 hours?"
He has this freak out because the LCL is going rancid,
It looks so gross. Like, could you imagine being just enveloped in
like rancid blood.
yeah.
That's what they say it smells and tastes like.
Ugh.
And we don't know what LCL fluid is yet.
Do we ever find out?
We will.
It's Ava Booger.
He's losing his fucking mind.
Oh, yeah, he's just has nothing to do but sit with his own thoughts in this Ava as he is just, like, slowly watching the time on his life go down.
And we're like, oh, they're going to rescue him, right? And then we learn the plan is to drop 92
Just
N2 mines,
nuke this bitch.
get the Ava out, and if the pilot dies, he dies.
Yeah.
Which, like, what?
Uh-huh. That seems like a terrible plan. You only have 3 children that can pilot these thingers. Like, you maybe want to preserve them. I don't know. That's just my thoughts.
And, like, Misato's rightfully pissed about this.
Mhm.
And she even confronts Ritsuko and is like, what are the Avas? Why are you, caring to get this one Ava back over, like, all of
A
this?
literal child.
Which actually makes me think back to something from the first episode that I didn't think about asking you about.
Oh, no.
When the corrosion is happening from that microscopic angel, they
Mhm.
eject the Avas as well,
Mhm.
but they say Ava number 1 is the highest priority. That's Shinji's Ava.
Mhm. Is that the one with, like, the weird Orga eye that we saw,
Yeah.
like, get flashbacks of?
Why do you think Ava number 1 is the biggest priority to
Because
recover?
it's got some sort of organic material in it, and I wonder if it's a integration of Angel into Ava.
Ooh, interesting.
Ugh!
So
I
you're
wanna
thinking so
just
that's your prediction that inside the Ava is an angel?
or it's like some sort of weird being that is like the key to defeating the angels. I think it's some sort of creature
Okay.
that
Noted.
morph together. Ugh,
Noted. I know you want answers. I can't give you answers.
you're the worst.
Shinji goes full break and is like talking to himself, and it like depending on which version of him is talking, there's just a white line on the screen. Is it horizontal or is it vertical?
Yeah, I thought that was a really cool way of doing that conversation.
Now here's a big question for you. Do you think that's his internal monologue, or do you think this was like its own other dimension dead Shinji talking to him?
That's really because he is in a different like dimension, so that is a possibility. I didn't think about that. Or maybe is it because is it the organic thing inside of the Ava that we were just talking about, talking to him?
Oh, interesting.
There's a lot of things it could potentially be.
Yeah, because when his suit finally gives in and he starts to go to sleep, we get the naked ghost of his mother cradling him.
Mhm.
What do you think that's all
Which
about?
well, I think it's just like he's dying, and that's how his brain is choosing to like let go, I guess, and
Why is
comfort
she
him as
naked then?
because he came into this world naked as well. I don't know.
All
We
right.
love a naked mommy in Japan. We saw this in X.
Oh,
We're
that's a good
seeing
point.
this
Yeah,
in Evangelion.
that's true. People love their naked moms.
Ooh.
Uh,
Freud would have something to say about that as well.
we've had a couple moments in the show now where the Ava loses its fucking mind.
Yeah.
And
Oh, it has a
ever,
mind now?
you know what I mean? Like a computer can have,
A
you know what I'm talking about.
malfunction.
Like,
I'm just trying
regardless,
to catch you. Trying to catch you on
it
the ropes.
goes berserk. The whole ground of this shadow, like, dissects into like a million spikes with blood leaking out of them. And you're like,
Ooh.
holy shit, what the fuck? Is he gonna burst out of the ground? But no, he bursts out of the fucking sphere.
Yeah, which is because the sphere was like a weird, like the body of the Ava was actually the shadow, and the sphere was just
Yes.
like a double
Was the
bluff or
shadow.
something.
No, the
Yeah,
sphere was the shadow, which is super strange. But
yeah.
apparently it's just like a condensed extra dimensional space.
I don't know.
It is just blood spraying against this like black set angel body, and it's gorgeous.
Man, this week is the week of naked mommies and gorgeous blood.
That is true. This is kind of what this week has been. And he just like bursts out with this just Ava just being like, before it finally is like, I have no more power. Goodbye.
It just logs off.
Basically, yeah. And then like Misato opens the pod and she's
Oh,
crying.
she was just so worried about Shinji.
And Asuka's in the back being like, I thought you were gonna scold him.
Asuka would do that.
Now, do you
Which again,
think
it's nice. It's a nice little like icebreaker for this really intense episode that we just had to have like Asuka come in and like finish it with a little bit of humor.
that Misato loves him? And I don't mean in a weird way, just like
No,
genuine
like
love.
in like a guardianship. Yeah, I absolutely do think she does.
Do you think that if the option came up for her to adopt him, she would?
I think she would absolutely take over legal guardianship of this kid.
I mean, she basically already has.
I know, but like if she all of a sudden was to not be a part of Nerve, I think she would still want to take care of Shinji and make sure he's safe. Nerve.
Nerve.
We've learned that I cannot make those noises on this podcast.
No, if I go, it's funny. If you do it, it's like, oh my.
We gotta hide it behind a paywall.
But we officially end with Ritsuko telling Gendo that the Avas have been acting out, and
Mhm.
Misato's getting curious what they really are.
I'm also curious what they really are. So
This
me
also
and
means that
Misato.
you're probably gonna, learn something in the next few episodes.
Am I? Am I though? Or is it just gonna continue to be more questions and no answers?
So there's a shit ton that's going to be happening in the next month for you and this show.
Oh my gosh, all before the end of the year.
And it is so hard not to spoil it for you. Because I want to talk about certain things as I think about them, and I can't. Because it's more fun when you go, what the fuck is going on? That has been episodes 13, 14, 15, and 16 of Neon Genesis Evangelion. We are coming into the end game. We are coming into some really intense moments where things will be revealed. Moments will drop that'll have Lindsey crawling on her knees, pulling her hair out, going, what is going on?
Sounds like
And
a
if you
great
want
time.
to, get updated on that, make sure to follow us on whatever podcast platform you happen to be listening on. And if you'd like to follow us on social media, you can do that at Animates, or check out our YouTube channel where we've got more than just podcast stuff. We've got videos and shorts that are pretty dang funny. Today, before this, I made Lindsey blindly rank the hotness of old men gym leaders from Pokemon.
How dare you?
So it's a good time. So you can check that at youtube.com/animates. And if you want to support miniseries like this one and help us do our next one when we're finally through with Evangelion, you can check out our Patreon at patreon.com/animates. Speaking of our Patreon supporters, we want to give a shout out to our supporting characters and our retro cuties, but also our Chibi Champion tier, where we've got Swamp Wizard chilling out there all by their lonesome right now. Y'all should go and join them. They're looking for some companionship in that tier, y'all.
It's getting so lonely.
But also we've got the Nostalgia Wizard tier, and in that tier we've got Butler Rat, who asked a very hilarious question that Lindsey and I laughed about in our Discord today.
I will respond after we finish recording.
So yeah, if you want to get access to our Discord, following the Patreon is the best way to do that. We will catch you in 2 weeks with more Neon Genesis Evangelion, and next Tuesday when Lindsey is hosting the podcast with our next regularly scheduled episode. We're going to go eject ourselves into a lake and sit naked in our pods. We'll catch you later.
It's what we need to heal our souls.
I would love to do one of those like salt float tanks.
Ooh, just do it naked.
I think that's usually how you do it.
Is it? I thought you had to wear a bathing suit in one of those.
Oh, do you? I guess I don't want your like giblets just floating on the surface.
What a way to end the episode.
Bye.
Bye.
Giblets just floating on the surface.
How disgusting.